Hey everyone, welcome to another Finity's ADD gaming video. I am Finity, and this video is going to be based on Clash of Clans. It is a fun game that I've been playing for a while. I have two different accounts. My main account is a Town Hall 10, and I'm working on kind of building that up right now. And the one that I'm going to show you today is going to be more based on a Town Hall 9 attack. The attack itself is called the GoHoWi. It stands for Go, which is Golem, Ho for the Hog Riders, and then We for the Wizards. So your primary group composition is going to be Golems, Riders, Hog Riders, and Wizards. Now, we just had a pretty good war, and I was able to 3-star 2 of the TH9s, Town Hall 9 enemies that I was attacking. So, and this is pretty much my favorite attack on the Town Hall 9 because it's a pretty consistent attack if you can execute it right. The strategy is fairly straightforward, so it leaves you a little bit of room to actually mess up a little bit. And you'll see on the first one, because of my group composition, I could have gotten more out of it. But even then, it led to a pretty good attack. Okay, so what I wanted to show you first is the first base that I was attacking. And to go over the basics of the Town Hall 9 GoHoWi attack. Now, with your with the group, you'll see that at the bottom of the screen there, I have my group composition that I use. You'll have a golem in your castle, hopefully from a clanmate that has a high level golem, so you can get that additional boost. You'll get 2 golems of your own, and then you pretty much fill up with wizards. I do have a few wall breakers. I didn't need it for this attack, and you'll see that at the end they were pretty much wasted. So if I switched them to more archers, or if I got some wizards, then it would have increased actually the speed of my attack, but I was still able to 3-star this. In terms of the spells that you're using, I like to use 3 quakes and then 1 other quake in the castle in order to get a full wall break. You can do a jump spell and then get a couple of poison spells in order to help with the castle troops that you're facing. But from what I've seen, it just makes it easier to do quakes. If it's a really, like this base, for example, has a little bit of a lower level walls, and the defenses aren't necessarily maxed out. So I didn't need to be super efficient. And if you go with quakes instead of a jump spell, you can have a little bit more leniency in terms of the timing, because jump spells are only available for a certain amount of time. You'll need to make sure that you place the poison spells at the right time in order to kind of slow them out of the castle. It adds another step. So what I'm showing right now is the one that I use with the quakes. So I use 4 quakes in order to break. I have 1 rage spell and 2 heal spells, and the heal spells are going to be used on the Hog Riders. Now, the first thing is trying to figure out where you want to attack from. Now, there's different strategies you can use in terms of where you want to attack from, but the first thing I look at is trying to figure out where the Archer Queen is and where I can enter in to break into the castle. Now, the Archer Queen is over on this top side over here, and let me go ahead and mark her. So you'll see some markings here. So the Archer Queen is up near the top, and she's going to roam around in this area. What I'm looking at is trying to see where to break so I can target the Archer Queen. The reason I want to target the Archer Queen is because she does a lot of damage, and she can hide behind different walls, which makes it so that the golems are just going to take a lot of damage. My Barbarian King won't be able to get to her very easily, and so I have to wait for my wizards to kind of clear out and get to her. Versus if I target her right off the bat, the golems will be able to eat up the damage, and the wizards will be very close behind. Because as you go farther and farther into your attack, your troops are going to start spreading apart naturally. So I like trying to go after the Archer Queen, and then also finding a good entry spot where you can actually end up using your rage to help you with destroying the base. Now, there's 2 different things that I look at in terms of where to use a rage. And the rage is going to be based primarily on the castle troops and the town hall. Now, you always want to use the rage in order to take out the Archer Queen, but then either the rage should also help you take out the castle troops, or it should help you take out the town hall much quicker, and whatever other defenses are in the area. So, in this particular attack, with the way that this base is set up, it's a little bit interesting because this person, sorry about that, this person has a lot of defenses on the outside. This is actually a pretty interesting way of distracting golems. With all of these defenses on the outside, your golems in this kind of attack can really start to spread out and get distracted and not get into the base. So that's going to be the biggest concern. So I want to target a place where my golems will end up going into the middle of the base with the least amount of resistance. And so because of that, I decided to go through this side. Okay, so it takes me right at the archer queen. There aren't really much defenses. There is one defense here. And that could cause a distraction for the golems. So what I did is started out with my barbarian king and started my barbarian king here and target him at this wizard castle or this wizard tower and then had him go over to this army camp. So this has the barbarian king taking out the wizard tower. Now the wizard tower does a lot of damage in an AoE fashion. In terms of a single target, it's not a huge amount of damage. So when you just send the barbarian king, it kind of hurts it a little bit, but the barbarian king is in pretty good shape even after that point. Positioning on this is important because you want the barbarian king to go after the wizard tower towards this army camp so he can come into this path down the middle. Okay, so that's going to be the first part of the attack, which is finding out where to attack and how to make it so your golems can funnel down into the middle. With the archer queen being where she is, what I will end up doing is using my rage spell just around here. Now when I use it in this area, it's going to help me take out the archer queen, and this will also help me target the castle troops. So when the castle troops come into this area, my wizards will be able to start attacking, they'll be raged up, and they'll be able to take out whatever the castle troops are much, much quicker. With that as the entry point then, what I'm looking for is I'll be looking for the quakes, and the quakes will be down in that area too. So I'm going to put my 4 quakes right here and basically take out this corner. Now if you get out some of the other defenses, that's nice. But this area right here that I've kind of blocked off now in brown is where I am aiming my quakes. So take out that point, you open up the middle, you get access to the town hall. Just to add it again, you have the barbarian king that's going to be starting over here. And he'll target the wizard tower and then go towards the army camp to join your overall attack. Now you're going to release the rest of your non-rider troops. Okay, so the non-rider troops, meaning your wizards, your archer queen, and your golems, save whatever archers you have so the archers can take out anything that's kind of left behind in the back once the defenses are gone from the Hog Riders. So you're releasing the wizards, the golems, and the archer queen. And you want to make sure they funnel down in this direction too. So the goal is to make sure that your golems are eating up the damage. They need to eat up that damage. So first, you release your golems. Okay, so you're going to release your golems right down here. With this open, because of the quake, your golems will lead the way. Next, you want to make sure that you start spreading out your wizards a little bit. So you're going to have this army camp taken out by your barbarian king. So the main thing that's going to be distracting from this funnel is this particular elixir collector. So start by releasing a wizard here, and then you can start releasing your wizards all through here. So you want to have one wizard at least to take out this. Once the mortar tower is distracted by the golems, send your wizard here, and then you can send out all your wizards and your archer queens. And send them out here. They'll start taking out this target, move to this one, and then move down to the middle. By that time, the archer queen will have been engaged by your golems, who are relatively slow characters. And so your wizards will come into the middle, and then you'll basically be wreaking havoc on their base at the middle. Next comes the Hog Riders. Now the Hog Riders are going to be a little bit more about timing. So you want to make sure you know how you want to attack with your Hog Riders. Now there's two different methods that people use for this particular attack with the Hog Riders. When you're doing an attack, you have to see what kind of destruction your main squad, which is the Golem and the Wizards, are going to be doing, and then you use your Hog Riders to supplement it. The two different ways to do it are to create a wall of riders that go through here and basically come up and meet your troops halfway. Okay, so that's one particular way that you can go about it. The other way is to release your riders in one particular area, have them come through here, and then both of your forces combined will come to clear out the other side. Okay, so this is two different strategies. One is a bit more of a clumped rider, where you're clearing out one side, and then you're going to clear out. So if you divide this into quadrants, let me clear out some of the markings here. So if you're looking at this in terms of quadrants, okay, you want to see what your main base is going to be clearing out. Now, if you look at the way my attack is worked out, this top quadrant is all cleared out because of my main base. But there still leaves 3 quadrants open. So I could either use my riders to attack one quadrant and have which would be, if I attack them here, have them clear out this quadrant, and then combine the forces can clear out the bottom 2. Or I could send out a wall and have them clear both of these quadrants, and then they'll only have to combine kill 1. It depends on the design of the base. With this particular base design, with so many of the defenses in this quadrant of the base, I decided to release all of my riders kind of in this clumped area, except for a couple that I left for this wizard tower down at the bottom. Okay, so for this strategy, I have my Hog Riders being released in one area, joining up with my main forces, and then coming down here to clear out the rest. Okay, so the next attack that I'll show you is more of a wall strategy. You'll see what I mean in terms of kind of meeting your forces head on. But this is going to be kind of the corner strategy and then working together. Okay, so once your Golem is in the middle and is distracting a lot of these defenses that are at the bottom here, obviously the ones that are far away are not going to be distracted. You're more concerned about like the wizard tower, the cannon tower, the mortar. So once those are distracted by the golems, you can release all of your Hog Riders, except for a couple that you're going to save for this bottom wizard tower. And this is because of just of the design of the base. If this wizard tower wasn't here, I probably wouldn't even bother, because all of these other defenses, like this archer tower and this cannon or this mortar, are within kind of the movement after the riders finish off clearing out that quadrant. So I don't have to be worried about those. It's only that wizard tower that's a little bit of a distraction. So release your Hog Riders at these defenses once the Golem is cleared out, and you can use your healing spells as needed. So you can use one healing spell up here because there is a mortar, there's a wizard tower. It could use some defenses there. And then probably another one as you get down to here in order to kind of heal up anyone that's still left off as your riders are starting to create destruction. Okay, so that's the overall strategy of this particular attack. Okay, so I'm just going to go back here and just remark it that you're going to be starting out with your riders. Your riders are going to be attacking. Okay, they're going to move through here, keep on killing all of these. They may even get to this one. Start killing out these. By that time, they'll have met your Archer Queen, your Wizards, and then they will create one massive force that will start to move down in this direction. Now, Hog Riders only attack defenses, so behind the Hog Riders, once they clear out all of these defenses, you can start releasing your archers just to help start to take out some of these extra buildings. because your Hog Riders are going to go all the way down to the bottom because they have to tackle these Archer Towers and Wizard Towers. So by the time they go there, they have a long path to come around in order to take out some of these buildings. Okay, so that's where the Archers will come in. Okay, so that's the strategy for the GoHoWi attack on this particular base. So let's go ahead and watch the attack. Okay, so you see that the Barbarian King is going. I released some of the wizards on the upper buildings also, but again, the key is going to be that elixir on the side. You want to make sure that you avoid it. Okay. So I avoided it in this particular attack by destroying the other buildings, but you'll see that my wizard still took out that elixir tower, and now everything is focusing down the middle. There's a raise that's taken out the Archer Queen. The Golems are moving forward. My wizards are enraged and just killing off buildings. And now my riders are being released on the left there. Okay, now there is a pack of lightning towers there. So because of that, I put the healing spell down quickly because I wanted to make sure my riders didn't die from 3 lightnings targeting the same rider. Okay, and with the wizard tower there, it would have been likely that they would die. So now my riders are clearing out that quadrant. And you'll see that they finish off that quadrant, and now they start moving down towards the bottom, towards the bottom right. I put another healing spell there to help heal up my riders, and now I put some archers up in the left corner to start taking out some of those buildings. Okay, I released those wall breakers just at the end there, just to kind of use them to see if they could have affected that bomb tower before the riders got there, but the riders got there. They killed off everything. And now you can see, it's just a destruction. Okay, the Golems are a little bit slow, but they're helping to clear out things. The Archers are in the left. They're starting to kill some of those buildings just to help out before the Hog Riders can make it there. And the Hog Riders have a lot of different things to kill. So again, the key is going to be that funnel into the base. That is what you're going to need to make sure that you have. Alright, and that was the first of the 3-star attacks that I was going to show you. Okay. Okay, so now let's look at the second attack. Okay, so now this is going to be the second base that we're going to be attacking, again with the GoHoWi. And what we're looking at is going to be the actual kind of weird spiral base design. With this particular design, you can see how the Hog Riders in a wall fashion may help because all of these defenses are kind of lined up together. And your Hog Riders can work together and kind of kill these things out versus the last base that we saw, which has had a lot more of clumping with their defenses. Okay, so first thing you want to do is identify where you want to enter. So we want to identify the Archer Queen, identify the Town Hall, and identify the castle. Where would the best place be to enter this? Now, because I see that this is going to be walls instead of like the little segments like the last base, I am planning to use a wall of riders. When you're using a wall of riders instead of clumps, rather than coming in, again, let me separate it by the quadrants so you'll see kind of what I'm saying here, is that if you divide this into quadrants, like we did last time, we came in through a corner and took out a quadrant. And that was because we saw a lumped amount of defenses on this left side, and we brought in the riders over here. That was for our last attack. If you look at this base, you can see that I would like to send my riders as a wall in both of these segments down here. Because of that, I don't want to attack in a corner in this space. Okay? So you could attack in a corner potentially, but I don't want to because I want to come in and try to take out both of these quadrants. So because of that, the way I'm going to attack is aim right down the middle with my main forces, which is my golems and my wizards. So if I am going straight down the middle, what I am looking at then is going to be the quakes going right around here. Now, for those of you not sure about the quakes, a quake has a diameter, meaning it can go from one end to the other, of 8 different blocks. So if you look at where I'm targeting with my air defense, this air defense that's here, the air defense is going to be 3 different blocks. There's 1 block in between, and then you have the 1 block for the wall. So this one is going to be 7. So if you place your quake right in the middle here, you'll be able to break this wall, and you'll be able to break this wall if you place 4 quakes. Okay, so do make sure you practice your placement. If you can, have one of your clanmates put up a challenge so you can practice quake placement, because quake placement is going to be very important, especially as you increase that distance. If you start facing bases with 8 spaces, you have to be very precise or you're not going to break the walls entirely, and that can completely throw off your attack. Okay, so this particular one has a distance of 7, so I can place my quakes right here and enter straight down the middle. The archer queen then can get pulled into this area following the golems, and I could place my rage just about here. This will for sure get the archer queen. It can actually potentially help with the castle, and depending on what happens with the golems, it can actually pull the castle also. Okay, so now you can get the town hall, you can get the castle, and you can get the archer queen with a rage placement in this particular area. Okay, so definitely the way that you want to enter is going to be from this side with the rage placement right in that particular area. With that though, the next thing is how you're going to release the golems. So the golems are going to be a little bit interesting here. Because there is no wall right here, when you place a golem here to try and draw fire, it will actually walk all the way around and come over here. That is actually not a bad thing because, again, remember, you want to make sure that you have a funnel. So you can place a wizard here to take out this building. You can place a wizard to take out these 2. Okay, so now you're creating that funnel. You're getting that line into the base. You can even put a wizard here to take out this army camp in order to make sure that all of your troops are going to go in this direction. Okay, so what you're looking at then in terms of placement is you're going to have your golem being released up near the top here. Okay, and your golem will go towards this defense. Now, it will more likely than not go to this wall. It's going to work its way around, but that provides you cover for your wizards. And ultimately, even if it goes in this roundabout direction, it'll still be helped by this quake and the destruction. Okay, so the golem release of 1 golem here is going to be first. Then you start releasing your wizards, and the wizards can start taking out this side a little bit to help with the funnel. You can release a wizard here also to take out that army camp. And then once that's done, you can release the rest of your wizards right down here, and you can release your other 2 golems, the one that you have plus the one in your castle. You can release your other 2 golems down this way also. Okay? Then you also send your barbarian king, you send your archer queen, and they'll start destroying this inside part. Okay, so you send your archer queen, you send your barbarian king, send them down the middle, and all of this area is going to start getting destroyed. Once your golems start eating up some of the damage from these structures, the next thing you're going to do is send in your Hog Riders again, from in a wall format down this side. Okay, so your riders will then target this, target this, target this. So spread them out, let them target it all. They'll start taking out this wall, and then they'll start moving around. And you can look to see where all of the defenses are clumped, and then use your healing accordingly. So you see that there's a wizard tower, there's a mortar, so you can use a healing here. There's 3 archer towers, there's a mortar, so you can use it here, right? And there's not too much of a threat afterwards. The other wizard towers should be taken out by the golems and the wizards. So with this particular layout, you're using a wall of riders instead of a clump of riders like the previous one. And that's going to be the foundation of this GoHoWi attack. Okay, so now let's go ahead and look at that attack. Okay, so you see that the golem is released. The wizards are starting to take it out. Now my golem came into range, is starting to eat up that archer tower damage. My wizards, on the meantime, are starting to clear things out. You use the quakes to break into that wall. And now you start releasing everything. You release the 2 golems, let them go in front. Barbarian King, Archer Queen, and now all of your wizards. Let them start breaking into that thing. Okay? The Archer Queen has engaged one of those peripheral wizards that you set out at the beginning. Not important. Once you get into the middle, you'll see that they'll start attacking some of the golems, and that's when you'll start having fun. So we have the rage placement. We have all the different troops kind of going in now. And now we start getting the mayhem. The wall of riders is now released from the bottom. We have the different areas where the damage is going to be high. So 1 heal spell is down. And the other heal spell is now down. Right? Release some archers just in the periphery, just to kind of start taking out some of the buildings. And you see there's no defenses now. So now we can go ahead and speed up this replay, so you can just see kind of the overall destruction that happens. But there's really nothing else left. The remaining riders move around, kill everything. And that's it. Right? So those were 2 GoHoWi attacks. I hope you guys got something out of this for your Town Hall 9 attacks, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, please make sure you subscribe to our channel. You'll be able to get updates on whenever we post for Clash of Clans or any other video or any other game that we have. Please like this video if you found it helpful. Please check out our website, realityskewedgamers.blogspot.com. We do place articles up there for different games. Primarily right now, we're Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, but we are expanding into other games. And as you can see, I do like playing a multitude of different games. So there'll be videos for a bunch of different ones. So please make sure you check that out. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. Our Twitter site will give you updates on whenever we upload a video and whenever we have live streams. And I hope you guys enjoy.